Hello. Hi everyone. I hope everyone is okay today. Welcome to a new space. Um this is the first episode, the first improvisation, I would say. Um and I'm kind of testing it. I see how it goes. This is not my first podcast, but it's the first time that we're gonna share something different today. So I hope it makes sense. I hope it helps someone who is listening. I'm doing this as an act of service, as an act of, how can I say it in English? Like, it just makes sense to me that I have to communicate, that I have to tell the story, I have to express um, what I've lived, how I see things. Usually, or it's common to me that people say, "Oh, you should share more about your story." um, and people say I tell good stories, or they're really insightful and really helpful for people. So it's just it's just and again people telling me this. So why not? I don't know how to start, but so that's the beauty of it. We just need to start sharing. So here I am. Sharing this without script, really natural. I just put literally just play my phone and I'm gonna record what I have to share today. Today, um, it's about not underestimating the little steps towards something big. This is inspired by a story, a true story that happened today. Today we did a humble 10K run in Dolls Point Beach. It was a small event, like uh, fundraising events. These are like not really big, really like organized by volunteers, like the numbers written, like handwritten, like very improvised and kind of, it felt like a family or like Sunday club run or something, not really like a big event. Um, and it meant a lot for me and for my friend. We have been preparing for this race for like uh, between six to 6 months. So the story is a bit long, but I had an injury last year. Really sad. I wasn't able to walk or walk much. I was limping. I couldn't really like not cycling even much. I was facing like a tendinitis in my left hip, and I couldn't walk much and run. And I used to love running, so I used to run a lot. And this was really sad because I'm really active and I couldn't do much. And then there's a friend of mine that had, yeah, bigger thing happening. She had a cancer. There's a big one there, but anyway, she did really well, and we're starting to catch up once a week to do some exercise, take some air, do some dips, and start jogging. I want just walking. Anyway, it's a long story there, but we were doing little things, thinking on, oh, one day maybe I can run again. Like like having this dream of 6 months later to be able to run. And this idea crossed my head, like, oh, it would be nice to do that race again that I did a few years ago. And if I could walk it, if I could jog it, um, it would be a big thing for me because people around me were saying, oh, that ITV is really serious. You just, maybe it's too much for you, that you should do something else, like these comments. Oh, just swim. And I'm like, it's just boring. Like, I don't know, was something I couldn't accept. And so we start walking, and she started as well walking with me, and we did like a whiteboard putting like the kilometers we're doing every week, and it felt like just like a dream, just an idea. Like we put, I want to upload some photos about this. We put like 3Ks, then three, then four, then four, five, or like that. And we did like 3, 4 months, 3 times a week, like consistently. And then today we did the 10Ks race. We even got a like podium. She got fourth and I was second. And that's crazy. Like it's incredible. And I was telling her how much, like how proud I was for all the achievement and stuff. Okay, so that that's the story right there. But the point is here that I want to share, and I've noticed many times, is that people underestimate the little steps. You get excited, or we want to have it all now, and especially in these times with like people are really impatient with all this instantaneity and everything, that you can get everything at the second. You can order the best food and is here in 10 minutes without doing anything. You can order literally anything. Like you can order people, you can order food, you can order stuff, like things 24/7. It's non stop. Like the attention is really short now, like the short time, like everything has been condensated. That's another topic, but anyway, so it's a bit hard to value and appreciate the little steps. The thing is, little by little, you build big things, and usually those things that are built piece by piece are the things that last forever, or they last longer. The things that take time are the things that you appreciate the most, and the things more meaningful for you on the long run. So I don't, like, for example, if I could run 10Ks back then, it wouldn't have the value it has now. Like all the achievements along the way, um, it changed you like a person. So the first point here is, don't underestimate the power of little steps. You can put a big goal. It's important to have a date and a way to measure it, and then put little steps, consistent, realistic, that you can do all the time. You defined, and then just learn how to enjoy the process, and those little steps are gonna take you far, like little by little. So it's one of the things we need to start kind of remembering in this high pace lifestyle, is that uh, like patience is rewarded with fulfillment, and like the achievement and the fulfill, like, is different. The feeling is different when you do things long run. So that's the first point. um and that takes you to the second point, which is, when you learn and you appreciate the little steps, and you understand and have the patience to do it consistently, what happens then is that you start to enjoy every piece of it. It's like the same, when you when you create or you cook a really nice meal, and then you just eat it in 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh, I actually didn't even taste it you know this is the same thing when you do little by little, bite by bite. In this case, we did 3Ks, like week by week, week by week, just a little run, and you keep consistent, you start enjoying those three so much, and then you understand, you start feeling how you get more fit, how you get stronger. You notice that we are humans, so we change. We are not the same every week, especially women. We are up and down. So some weeks stronger, some week weaker, some week hormones all over, emotional, sad, pissed, whatever. So you change a lot, and the thing is, you have to keep showing up, doing the same little thing every week, and then you start enjoying it. And then sometimes you complain about it, but then it just shifts, and then you cannot wait to do that again, especially something you enjoy, or something with a friend or something like that, that at the beginning looks insignificant. You're like, oh, I used to run 20Ks, like 3K is not going to make any difference. But the thing is, because you couldn't do it, the fact that you're doing that little thing gets so much meaning that then it's not about the distance, and it's not about like the performance. It's about what happens to you while you do it, and then you start appreciating things about yourself, things about doing the effort, things about the little things. And when you do it little by little like that, you start enjoying more. It's like when you eat something piece by piece, and you enjoy the flavor and the texture, and then you wait, and then you start again. It's the same idea. And then when you finish and you see the whole meal, the how you took 2 hours to eat, you're like, oh my god, that plate was so nice, and it fulfills you so much. It's just not when it's not like when you just eat it in one go and you're like, oh, I don't even remember I ate it. Right? So this is the same. So first, don't underestimate the power of little things, little steps. And second, the beauty of it is who you become while you do piece by piece. And then the amount of fulfillment you get is double, triple, 10 times more of just doing it all in one go. So it's also related with enjoyment, a bit of mindfulness, I would say, of that. So then when you end up this whole process, it has so much meaning. It just changed you. It could be having a walk. It doesn't need to be related to sport. It could be, okay, I'm gonna write an hour every week, and then it's a habit, and then you start having ideas, and you develop your creativity, and then you're just enjoying it so much, way more than if you just write one book, the whole book in one day. It's like you change in the process of doing it, and that has a huge value because it shapes you as a person. So it's a big one there. It's like, also, it's like when you do it in one go, you miss the fun. Like, you miss the fun, you miss the enjoyment, you miss the fulfillment, and the reward of doing it with patience and consistency. So yeah. So to finish the idea, I would like to invite you. It's not a suggestion because I don't know, you can do whatever you want, but it's like a from my experience, I would like to recommend to give it a go, to try it. If there's something you want to do that looks or feels too much, too big, um, there's a really, really good strategy to divide it in pieces, and then or stages, and then each stages in little. Just take everything in little parts, and then you focus on just one by one. You don't get overwhelmed with the big thing. You don't have to, be at the end straight away. You just have an idea of what you want to do, and then be realistic of the, the little steps you want to take, how long it's going to take you, and then being really realistic with yourself and your level of commitment and time and assets and stuff to make it happen. You just put it in the time. Oh, sorry. There's a motorcycle. And then and you just be patient to accept how long it's going to take. For example, for me, or for my friend as well, we needed to take it really easy to avoid injuries, to avoid getting too weak, because she's recovering from a big one, from chemo and stuff. And I don't want to overload my hip again to come back to stage one. So I have to be really careful and just have enough rest. Don't go that hard, take it easy. So I noticed that, okay, 6 months for run 10Ks is really slow. I mean, it's like it took long. Some people prepare, for an Ironman in 6 months. I just prepared 10K. So that's really, really small. But I've been building it really strong. I run today and I feel alright. Like, I don't feel, I feel a bit sore, but I'm okay. right? So because of that, I'm building the strength 6 months. And then, so we put this goal of doing 20. Okay, so another 6 months to do 20, and maybe in a year, I'll do 40 maybe, or in 2 years. And I put to myself, okay, maybe in 2 years, I'll do an ultra, right? But I have all this time to prepare, keeping my 3 runs per week. I'm not changing any, I'm not doing any big change, because I know that little things are easier to keep consistent. More than intensity is consistency. Like, if you can do 3, just 3 every week, and you keep it building. So don't get impatient, and don't underestimate the power of little things. So yeah, here today, this week, the first time, the advice, suggestion, recommendation, input, whatever feedback, whatever you want to take it, is decide something that you want to achieve. Could be anything, though. Even this work for relationship as well, though. Like with a relationship with friends, with family, like you want to improve a relationship, stuff like that is also work. Like, anyway, but it's just the big picture now. So you take one thing you want to achieve, and you divide it in little steps in a time frame. You put a specific time frame, and then you just patiently do it week after week after week. And at the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm doing nothing really. You feel like you're not doing anything, but then you start seeing how this is like a snowball. You start getting momentum, because one thing takes to the next one. You start being involved in it, you start getting learning about it, information comes to you, people comes to you. There's like a snowball of manifestation related to this goal. I'm not gonna talk about that now, because it's another video. It's kind of whole other episode. But when you start doing things consistently, even though they're little, you start manifesting, like, around you, things are related to that. For example, let's say this example of the 10Ks, right? Because we wanted to do that, we start just running 3Ks on Wednesday, right? But then, because we were doing that constantly, that was the thing. We were talking about running all the time, right? Or like few days a week. And then I started kind of attracting people that run too. So I started meeting more runners, like, I don't know, people start talking about techniques for running, for get stronger. So you start learning how to eat better, and then you start knowing people, meeting new people that inspire you, and then you keep doing your 3Ks a week. But then everything starts changing, because you start understanding more about yourself, about health, about other people techniques and stuff. So then you start getting a whole new, like, manifestation around that goal, and it's incredible. It's fun actually to see how it start manifesting around you, and how you change as well. It's actually, I enjoy it a lot. So I've learned how to be patient, and um, enjoying the little by little, step by step, day by day, and you can achieve and build big things. You just need to be consistent and patient, and kind of getting a bit more of each moment, be more present. All right, if not, it's gonna take forever. That was it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm gonna start doing this type of episodes every week. I hope you enjoy it. Much love. Take care. Have a good week. Adios.